Hello everyone, it's Sal, Stretford Post. How you all doing? And welcome to another episode of Chatterbox. Hope you're doing good. Hope you're doing fine. Thank you so much for joining me this evening, guys. Hope you're doing good, guys. Hope you're having a splendid Sunday wherever you are in the world. Thank you so much, guys, for your support. Please don't forget to subscribe to the channel if you're new, guys. Please don't forget to smash a like on the video. Don't forget to put your notifications on, all that jazz. That'd be absolutely fantastic. Thank you so much, guys. I really appreciate you all. Of course, thank you. Now, guys, let's get into some transfer news. Let's get into some Manchester United news. Of course, we're very delighted about the result yesterday. Of course, there are some people, idiots out there who are making it all about themselves, you know what I mean, and stuff like that, and making it, dividing the fan base again. You know what they're like. They just divide the fan base. Absolute idiots at the end of the day. Absolute prats at the end of the day, guys. And you know what? They can go to hell, to be honest with you. We're going to celebrate that win. But you know what? You know who they are. You know who they are. They can't help themselves. But guys, thank you, guys. We're gonna support our club like we've done from the beginning with Ruben Amorim and all that. We support our football club. That's what we do. And whoever the manager is, we're going to support our football club, regardless what these idiots and the Mandem minions and the Shileses or whatever they are. I don't know what they are. That we're gonna just support our football club at the end of the day. So here we are, guys. Absolutely. Hope you're all well. Welcome to the stream, guys. Let me just say hello to Leeson. How you doing? Why the board did not back Amorim? Probably because they're incompetent fools. They haven't backed him yet. They haven't backed Carrick yet. They haven't backed anyone yet. Obviously, this is all we're here to say at the moment. Lots of words about talks, lots of words about bids. But this doesn't necessarily mean it's going to be now. This doesn't necessarily mean that Man United are going to sign players in this window. It could be in the summer. It could be like that. Lots of talk about bids doesn't necessarily mean it's going to happen now. We've got 2 weeks until this window finishes. And if there's approaches, it could be for the summer. Now, let me get into it, guys. Let me get into it quickly. Now, for example, Manchester United have been interested in Pierre Kalulu. Pierre Kalulu is a 25-year-old centre-back and right-back who currently plays for Juventus. He got one cap for France. He started his career at AC Milan. He's valued about £28 million. Euros. He's a decent player, a good player, someone we haven't mentioned too much. I think I mentioned him once a few months ago, but Pierre Kalulu, very talented French international linked to Man United. Now, this is something that can happen this window quite possibly, being that he's a right-back, being that he's a centre-back as well. So Man United could look at Kalulu as a potential signing, guys. 28 million is not going to break the bank, which is around 20 million pounds, guys. Pierre Kalulu, of course, guys, 25-year-old. Now, guys, one of the players of the AFCON, in my opinion, and he's been absolutely phenomenal, having done the watch-alongs to the AFCON, having watched every single game, more or less, is a gentleman named Lamine Camara. Lamine Camara, of course, is a CM, CDM, and an attacking midfielder. He is an incredibly talented individual, guys. One of the most sought-after midfielders in Europe at the moment in regards to his age. Absolutely killing it for Senegal at the moment. Absolutely doing very well for Senegal at the moment, guys. And it's a player that we mentioned numerous amounts of times on Stretford Post. It makes you wonder why we are not looking at these players and getting ahead of the game. You know what I mean? Because at the end of the day, these players have been on our wish list, but we haven't made approaches for these players. This is the problem with us. We don't make the approaches. We don't go for the kill. We don't get these players before they are, before they're wanted by various other clubs. Now, Lamine Camara is wanted by the likes of Chelsea, Bayern Munich, Real Madrid, and all these teams. Of course he is. He's a very talented individual. He's a very talented player. Of course he is, guys. And that's what I would say about it. And Man United need to do the groundwork. They need to get deals done rather than resting on their laurels and waiting for other teams to come in. Like sort of sitting back and saying, all right, let's see what they want. Let's see what they're doing. Let's see what's going on. Let's see what they're doing and stuff like that. Maybe, I'm going to see if they want them or they want them and stuff like that. We need to go for it. The Monaco midfielder, very, very talented, only valued at 30 million pounds, guys, 30 million, and started his career at Metz. Very good player, guys. Absolutely game-changing player. Wouldn't mind a player like that in the team. Now, speaking about midfielders, another midfielder Man United have been linked with and have made inquiries about is a gentleman named Pablo Barrios. Now, Pablo Barrios is an Atletico Madrid centre midfielder, DM, and attacking midfielder. 22 years old, 4 caps for Spain. Now, the problem with Pablo Barrios is obviously his price tag. Now, he's a very talented individual, one of the best up-and-coming midfielders in Europe. These are the players that Man United should be looking at. We should be looking at these type of players. We shouldn't be resting, as I said again, we shouldn't be resting our laurels. We want these type of players. We want the Lamine Camara. We want the Pablo Barrios. We got to go after these players. If we're really serious about progressing as a football club on the pitch rather than off the pitch, we need to try and persuade these players like Pablo Barrios to come to Manchester United. Now, obviously, everything it depends on Man United qualifying for the Champions League. I know it's a big if. This is why it's going to be extremely difficult and expensive for Man United to bring in a player of the ilk of not Barrios, but Lamine Camara, for example. Barrios is not going to come to Man United this window, but Lamine Camara might. But Pablo Barrios is a summer move, a potential summer move that could happen. However, his value is 60 million euros. It may go up, guys. The price tag may go up. It may even be up to 80 million euros, of course, guys. So very interesting thing. I mentioned Barrios first on Stretford Post, of course, guys. Let's not forget on Stretford Post, like Lamine Camara over a year ago, we mentioned him on Stretford Post, of course, guys. So a very, very interesting thing indeed, guys. Let me just tweet this out, guys. A very, very interesting scenario, of course, guys, in regards to that. Let me just post this. Brilliant. So yeah, so we got 3 players we're linked with at the moment, guys. New players, we have Pierre Kalulu, 25-year-old Juventus centre-back, right back, 28 million, guys. And we got Lamine Camara, 23 caps for Senegal, by the way, 6 goals from midfield. It's not a bad tally, is it? It's not a bad tally at all. It's not bad if you can get it, guys. Absolutely not. It's not bad at all. Of course it isn't, guys. So, yeah, Lamine Camara, one of my favorite players at the moment. You know, Agume is one of them as well. Got Agume, Sevilla player, is one of the players that I like as well that Man United need to earmark. Man United need to study. Man United need to get the work done in regards to that. Man United need to get the work done to Agume. Lamine Camara, 30 million, Monaco, wanted by Chelsea, wanted by Atletico Madrid, wanted by Bayern Munich. You know, all of the big guns are going after Lamine Camara. Lamine Camara has been a star at the AFCON, and Man United should make that move, and they should make it move quickly, guys. Because at the end of the day, I mentioned this player about, how long ago was it now? About a year ago, I mentioned Lamine Camara for the first time, and I said, we need to go and get Lamine Camara. We need to go and get Lamine Camara. That's what we need to do. Unfortunately, you know what? We're too slow. We're too slow, and you know what? We're going to end up missing out on another very, very good player. Now, remember a player that I mentioned, Jeremy Jacquet. Remember Jeremy Jacquet that I mentioned a few months ago? Jeremy Jacquet, the centre-back, is gone to Chelsea. There you go. There's a here we go again. Now, guys, look, you know what? Everyone is signing players. Man United is standing still. What are they doing now? They've got the interim. What are they waiting for? For goodness sake. I don't care. They're sitting at the stadium. They need to start. I don't want them at the game. They need to go out there and start getting some players and start working hard to get some players through the door. That's what they need to do, guys. That's what they need to work on. Stop messing around. Stop wasting time. Go and get some players to help Michael Carrick or for the next summer, of course, guys, because at the end of the day, as I said, we've got the World Cup coming, and it's going to be very difficult to get players in during the World Cup, of course, guys, absolutely. Pablo Barrios will be a summer thing, but that's not to say that we can't work on that deal now. We can't work on that deal now. It's going to be very difficult to get a player like Pablo Barrios in, the 22-year-old, 4 caps of Spain, valued at 60 million, but I think we can if we work hard on it, guys. Now, another player in regards to that we've spoken about a number of times is Angelo Stiller, guys. What's the boost about Angelo Stiller? Now, Angelo Stiller has opened the door for a move to the Premier League. Of course, before there was rumors that Angelo Stiller only wanted Real Madrid. Now, since Real Madrid have sacked Xabi Alonso, the interest in Angelo Stiller has cooled somewhat. So, the door is wide open for Man United to make a move for Angelo Stiller. What's the big stipulation about Angelo Stiller? Why would he choose Manchester United? Now, apparently, guys, he is a Manchester United fan. This is what I'm hearing in regards to his favourite English club is Manchester United. Apparently, guys, this is the rumours. And it does depend on Man United, of course. It does depend if Man United get into the Champions League, get into Europe. It does depend if we do that and if we make a move for him. Angelo Stiller is a generational. Angelo Stiller, you know what, is a fantastic player. Now, if Man United are not going to get their first targets in regards to Wharton and Anderson, Angelo Stiller is there. You know, he's online with Baleba. So I think Man United should go and get him. We probably could get him cheaper than Baleba at the moment, if you ask me. So I don't know why we wouldn't do that deal for Angelo Stiller. We should try and do a deal for those. So all these names that I'm mentioning, guys, they are incredibly talented players. They're incredibly very, very high prospect players for the future. And why wouldn't Man United make the move? Why are we going to sit back and wait? What are we doing here, guys? We need to start moving. We need to start making some business. Great result yesterday. Absolutely brilliant. Some of the fan base a little bit predictable, but here we go, guys. It's all about the future, and it's all about, you know, backing Michael Carrick and backing the next manager in the summer, whoever that may be. Of course, that is still up in the air. Of course, guys, absolutely. Big up everyone in the stream, of course, guys. Big up. I knew you, nobody, back to your butt. Ignore the waste, man. It's no problem, man. Don't worry about it. There's always going to be hate in the stream. There's going to be hate because they don't have anything to be excited about at the end of the day. Big up, Bobby. How you doing, my friend? I saw I'm buzzing from yesterday. A lot of fan channels saying it's just one game and not celebrating the win of City. What's your thoughts? I haven't seen much like that, Bobby. I'll be honest with you. I've only seen people talking about Amram sexuals and things like that and all this nonsense. That's the only thing I've seen. That's the only thing I've seen. I've only seen people, you know who they are, talking like that, you know, hold that, this, that, all these idiots, you know, at the end of the day. And they're the worst ones. I'm not too concerned about it's only one game, people, because it's true. It is only one game, mate. It is. We've done this. We beat Man City under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. We beat Man City under Jose Mourinho. We beat Man City under Eric Ten Hag. We even won a FA Cup final against Man City. So at the end of the day, look, we had this performance against Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Remember, we won 3-1 at Old Trafford and absolutely sweet Man City off the park. We beat Man City last season at the Etihad. This is the thing. People need to calm down, celebrate, get excited, but calm down. The problem with people, what they're doing today is they're trying to go on to that Ruben Amorim. I told you, Ruben, it's the best game I've seen in 13 years. It's the best game I've seen in 13 years. What absolute nonsense. I mean, come on, calm down. This is what I'm talking about. The reason they do this is because they were always Ruben Amorim out. They're always Ruben Amorim out. So they're trying to overly promote this win like, oh my goodness me, a weakened Man City team, by the way, but overly promoting this win like it's something incredible, like it's the best win in 20 years. This shows a lack of intelligence, a lack of IQ, and you know who they are. They're just going over the top a little bit, guys. Absolutely. Big up. Weren't you the guy who said when Sal called out and Bremo Cunha and Senna Lamens, he disappeared after that, by the way, before everyone came on here trying to be smart? You've already been proven wrong. Go to bed. Yeah, absolutely. You just thank it, mate. Look, at the end of the day, Bobby, look, you know, I've seen all these idiots online and I'm tired of them. I'm tired of it because, you know what, at the end of the day, look, we've had bounces before. Let me tell you something like this. Unless Carrick is some kind of genius, right? How can Man United go from that to that within days? You know, they played a 4 at the back with Fletcher, right? Let's think about that. And they drew at Burnley. How come, and they lost to Brighton. How can Man United go from that to that in days? Is that because of Carrick or is that because they wanted to play? And this is the biggest issue here that we've been having with Man United over the many, many years that we've been supporting Man United. You know, it is a problem that the players are flip-flop, light switch FC. They turn it on when they can. Now, let's see the Arsenal game. Because things can go very wrong, guys, in a very short space of time. That's why I'm keeping grounded. Right, I'm happy Man United won the game, but the revisionism in regards to the trying to change history and the historical achievements of Ruben Amorim is pathetic and to be honest with you, you know, typical of a low IQ ball knowledge. Good evening, Ephraim. How you doing, my friend? Hope you're doing well. Welcome to the stream. It is annoying. It's frustrating that, you know, it's the best performance I've seen in 15 years at Man United. Come on, man. Come on, man. Come on. Don't talk trash, man. Morning, my friend Marcus. How you doing, my friend? Hope you're doing well. Good to see you back in the house, my guy. Hope you're doing well, guys. Don't forget to smash a like on the way in, guys. If you guys can do that for me, that'd be absolutely fantastic. Thank you so much, guys, who joined me today. Thank you, everyone, of course, guys. Now, look, you know, we move on to the Arsenal game. The Arsenal game is going to be incredibly difficult. We know that. We know how good Arsenal are. Arsenal are going to be far more difficult than Man City. And this is why I think Arsenal win the league. I can't see Manchester City doing anything. I really can't. I can't see them catching Arsenal. I just don't think they're as good as they used to be. I think they're going to lose a lot more games. I know that they signed GUI. They might be a little bit better, but I just don't see the spark that was there before, if you know what I mean. I think their spark has gone. Now, rather surprisingly and incredibly, they're calling for the sacking of Pep Guardiola. Now, I'm not a City fan by a long stretch of the imagination. But what I would say is that is an absolute disgrace, man. Absolute. That is their Sir Alex. That there is their Sir Alex. That's theirs. And they're calling for the sack of Pep Guardiola. Listen, guys. He's building a new team. He's getting the money and he's going to be back. Don't worry about that. You know what I mean? At the end of the day. But, guys, it is a joke, really. It is a joke that they're calling for Pep Guardiola. Man City fans, the new school Man City fans only been around 5 minutes. But the Man City fans calling for the sacking of Pep Guardiola, for me, it's an absolute travesty in regards to mentality. It's ridiculous. Vix, what's going on, my friend? Hope you're doing well. I hope, man, we batter Arsenal next week, 3-1 United. Come on, my guy. I hope so. Vix, sorry. We won Arsenal with Carrick in 2021 3-2. Yes, we did. And we've won at Etihad with Amorim 2-1 last season. At the end of the day, we've won with Ole Gunnar Solskjaer many times against Man City, of course. The thing is that people just want to revisionize everything. They just want to be right. They just want to be proven right. You know what I mean? It was the best. It was the best performance. It was the best. Calm your tits, man. You know what I mean? That's what I would say about them. Hi, Michael. Hope you're doing well. Welcome back, my friend. Hope you're doing well. Sal, I'm watching Wolves. They might go down. They have some really talented players. They do. They have Gomez, of course, which is linked to Man United. But Wolverhampton Wanderers have always had decent players. Their scouting network is phenomenal. They manage to find players I don't know how they do it, but they do manage to find players, and it's incredibly impressive the way they find these, like Cunha and obviously Gomez, out of nowhere. And well done to them. They've done incredibly well, of course. And there's other players as well that I may not mention. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, I may not mention that have signed for Wolves from out of nowhere, from out of absolutely nowhere, guys. Absolutely. But yeah, at the end of the day, guys, it is incredible that we do need to find better scouting at the moment. If they want me as a scout, guys, I'm available as a scout. If they want me as a scout, I'm available. Ephraim, you're right, Sal. Why they do not move on from Amorim? They are narrated by saying it's the best performance post Fergie. It's absolute bullshit, mate. Did they see Man City's team? Did they see Man City's team that Ole Gunnar Solskjaer beat? Did they see Man City's team that Jose Mourinho beat? Did they see Man City's team that Eric Ten Hag beat? The team that won, the treble that Eric Ten Hag beat? It was that team. You know what I mean? So at the end of the day, these people need to just calm down at the end of the day. Absolute bullshit. Question, Sal. Maybe I missed it, but is there still a mystery signing? Look, this mystery signing is it's just a normal player that Man United were going to be go after. It's bull crap, mate. I called it yesterday. I called the nonsense. I know that, it's exciting and that. But you know what this does? I said it, guys. It basically just creates debate. It creates debate between the fan base. And us as a fan base, we can't agree on anything. So we end up arguing. And then we start debating about this mystery signing. It's Ruben Loftus-Cheek, mate. I've said it before even Ben Jacobs said it. You know what I mean? That morning, right? That morning, I said it before anyone said it. I said it, guys. I had it on my thumbnail. Ruben Loftus-Cheek, right there. Then everyone is saying Ruben Loftus-Cheek after. Why do I think it's Ruben Loftus-Cheek? I said it before all of those guys, and they make me laugh. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, they really do make me laugh. It's mad. Lamine Kamara's out. Yes, Lamine Kamara has been linked with a move to Manchester United. The Monaco player, of course, fantastic player, lighting up the AFCON at the moment with Senegal. Absolutely brilliant player. We got to get that deal done, man. Honestly, God, we need players like that. We do need to try and get players like that through the door. Absolutely. Just imagine Kamara still at Yildiz triangle in the middle. Yeah. I mean, it'd be amazing, Dabby's ass. Unfortunately, we have a board that might get one if we're lucky, but getting 3 of them, I'll be absolutely astonished. Honest to God, I'll be like, what the hell is going on here? And you know what? I would applaud them if they did that. If they did that, Dabby's, I'd say, well done. You're thinking about the football team. Well done. But they're not going to do that. I can't see them doing that. Absolutely not. Even though it is a blessing and they should do that, I can't see them doing that. Kamara, Stiller, and Yildiz. Yildiz, guys. Keenan Yildiz, right? I mentioned him again first on Stretford Post. Keenan Yildiz, right? A year and a half ago, when he played for Juventus Next Generation. Keenan Yildiz is an absolutely phenomenal player. One of the best players in Europe at the moment in regards to his age group, right? A fantastic player. Man United should fight in tooth and nail to get this player through the door. I'm telling you guys, an absolute brilliant. Before the likes of Liverpool and the other teams go for him, Man United should be going after and fighting for Keenan Yildiz. That's what they need to do. Rick, Sal, it's true that Brighton wanted Carrick before we knew his contract at Middlesbrough. I don't know. But all I can say to you, Rick, man, my friend, is that I'm wishing Michael Carrick the best of luck. And I hope that Michael Carrick succeeds as Manchester United manager for the time being. What will it take for Michael Carrick to be full-time Man United manager? I think if Michael Carrick qualifies for the Champions League, I don't think you can take that opportunity away from him. Even though people are going to say, oh, well, but we need to get Luis Enrique in that, which we should. By the way, I'm not saying that. But I think if Michael Carrick manages to get into the Champions League, I think it's going to be very difficult for Ineos and the fans to think anything other than Michael Carrick being given a job. And the thing is, it's because obviously he's going to be cheap, you know, and obviously Ineos are going to be looking at that, Glazers are going to be looking at that. And the fan base is going to have this little bit of, we already have sentimental feelings towards Michael Carrick being a Man United legend. Of course he is. Won a Champions League with Man United, captain of Man United, stood up for a penalty in the Champions League for Man United and buried it. You know, so I know about Carrick. I respect Carrick. And I know that if he does manage to get into the Champions League, it's going to be extremely difficult for them not to give him a contract. I think that's true. However, we have to think high here. We have to think logically, and we have to think on the basis of like, okay, this happened under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. We can't make the same mistake again. Will it be the same mistake again? I don't think so. And let me tell you why. I think Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is not like Carrick. Carrick is more suited as a manager than Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. And the reason is, Ole Gunnar Solskjaer will get vibes. He'll get it going. He'll get the good feeling back, you know, the family vibe and all that. But Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is a bit like happy-go-lucky, too happy, too nice. And that's not a bad thing, by the way. He's a legend at Man United. He was a babyface assassin at Man United, but he's not an assassin in regards to management. He's a lovely person. And just for example, apologizing to Marcus Rashford, what he did, he's just not got that edge about him. You know what I mean? That edge. I think Carrick has that. I think Carrick is similar to Amorim in regards to his personality, in regards to silent assassin. Not obviously Portuguese, in a Portuguese way and all that, but I think Carrick is the new smiling, I think Carrick's not the smiling assassin. He doesn't smile much. He's the silent assassin. That's what I think Carrick is. He's the silent assassin. And I think he's disciplined. That's why he was captain at Man United, you know, for a while. And he kept captain at Man United. Thank you so much, Deadpool. What's going on, my friend? Thank you so much. Smash the likes. Thank you, guys. Let's get up to 50 likes if we can do that. Of course, guys. Absolutely. Guys, big up, Michael. Following Manchester United derby, we should Carrick get a full-time job. So no, it's too early to say, mate. It's too early to say. Absolutely too early to say. Unfortunately, we are tunnel vision bald. Yes, we do. Absolutely. Marcus, can our team just do business? We involve in MI6 Fabric Massad for a simple transfer business. Just once, Ineos do some business and let us know after the mystery signing. My ass, I know it was all a smoke screen, Marcus. At the end of the day, in regards to that, I mean, people just gassing it up for likes and clicks, man. Honestly, I'm telling you, this mystery signing. Already mentioned him before anyone even mentioned the bloody. Honest to God, Sal. Yesterday, Keane was spot on about the owners. Yes. Keane's the only one who actually speaks out against him. The reason the board didn't back Amorim is because they don't believe in him and his tactics. They blame it on the board, manager, and the players. The blame is on the board, manager, and players. Why would they bring him in if they don't believe in his tactics? Why would they bring him in? Why would they bring him in with that formation and not back him at the beginning of his tenure if they didn't believe in it? It's not that. They didn't back him because he called them out for not signing any players. Now, have they backed him, Deadpool? Have they backed Carrick? Have they backed Carrick? Have they? No, it's rumors at the moment. It's rumors. You know what I mean? So at the end of the day, there were rumors under Amorim and that they sacked Ruben Amorim, not because of his tactics. They believed in his tactics and wanted to back him, but they didn't want to back him for the speed in which Ruben Amorim wanted them to back. He wanted them to back him at the end of the day. Nothing to do with tactics. Man United have won away to Liverpool, won at Newcastle, won against Chelsea, won against Arsenal, won against Crystal Palace. We've beaten everyone in 14 months. At Man City at the Etihad. So at the end of the day, nothing to do with tactics. That's just a smoke screen for everyone, for the low IQ. Absolutely. Rick, so one of the young gems in the Premier League we should be looking at. Josh King's a very good player. Yes, very good player. Spoke about him before. Sal, Carrick is more tactically sound than Ole. I'll watch his middle of the side. If results go well, I won't mind him. Rick Mank, look, at the end of the day, he has to really do well. I think he has to get to at least. Now we got 16 games to play for. If he gets 40 points, I think that would be incredibly impressive. If we manage to get to if we get to Europa League, all right, let's forget about Champions League. If we get to Europa League, it's not where we want to be, I know. But if we get to Europa League, it's going to be a very difficult decision for the ball to make. A very difficult decision for the ball to make. Especially if we're playing football like we played yesterday. Now, look, I look at things maturely. I don't look at things like the overly hyped, gassed Amorim outers that were there, that they just like to bring up any narrative to mold, to fit their narrative. They like to bring up anything to fit their narrative. That's what they do. Stupidness, innit? Just Amorim sexuals and all this stupidness at the end of the day. I actually think that they're actually jealous of Amorim because they keep mentioning him, talking about him. Us people who are not Amorim inners, supporting Manchester United. We've moved on to Carrick now. We're supporting Carrick. This is what we do. They're still talking about Amorim. We're still talking about Carrick. Anyway, in regards to Michael Carrick, I wish him the best of luck. However, Arsenal next Sunday, Fulham, Tottenham, we got Newcastle away. We got lots of tough games to come, guys. And you know what I would say? Let's wait and see. And I wish him the best of luck. I really do. Because it'd be better for us. It'd be better for us to have our own guy in there. It would be. It would be better for Man United to have our own guy in there and have our own direction. You know what I mean? At the end of the day. Now, as I said, I'm looking at things maturely. I am looking at Manchester City's team. I'm looking at their defense. I spoke about it on other channels and stuff like that, about their defense, about that's the area that Man United can get at them. And they did. Right? At the end of the day, it's a bit like Man United playing Fredrickson or Kulungi in the centre back. They had Alain, and you know what I mean? Alain ain't even on their level. He's like number 68 in their squad numbers. Do you know what I mean? At the end of the day. Big up, Tyrell. How you doing, my friend? Hope you're doing well. Hope everything is blessed. DJ Darkus with a smiley face or a very straight face or a surprise face. I don't know because YouTube doesn't give me the idea, mate. At the end of the day, DJ Darkus. At the end of the day, they don't really give me the idea. But anyway, guys, seriously, away from emojis. DJ, I've been in here. I can see by your boat trace, you're not entirely convinced yet. Why would I be convinced, DJ Darkus, of one game? I've been here before. I was impressed. No doubt I was impressed. But only immature people get overly giddy, which is why they sit on Twitter all day writing tweets and that's all they can do. At the end of the day, only immature people go on that level of I hope that he succeeds. But even if this was another manager, even if this was Luis Enrique, no matter who it was, and we beat Man City, I wouldn't go over the board. Because I've seen this story before, mate. At the end of the day, it's insanity. It's insanity if you start believing something and not looking at context, not looking at bounce, not looking at everything in between that. And now, look, I hope that Michael Carrick smashes it. I hope that we go to Arsenal next week and we absolutely polarize them. I would love that. I'll be celebrating here. You know what I mean? But we got to be mature. We've got to be mature. We can't just jump. We beat Man City. We've only gone to Solskjaer more than once. With Jose Mourinho. We beat Man City with Eric Ten Hag, including the cup final, right? with a better Man City side. And we've beaten them with Ruben Amorim. We've also beaten them with Louis van Gaal. You know what I mean? So at the end of the day, I'm not going to get too excited. But they have to back him with some signings at least, midfielder, or bring in Sekou Kone and give him a run of games. I don't think he's ready yet. Or we can push Alita in the midfield. We don't need to do that at the moment. We got Mainu, we got Casemiro. Agree, so smash Arsenal. We have 2 swallows on the way to summer. One doesn't mean if it's summer, if you get my drift. I saw that. Yeah, don't worry about that. I saw that. You know, George Galloway. I see everything, DJ Darkers. Don't worry about that. Yeah, it was George Galloway who said that. And he's absolutely right. Don't overreact. Yeah, 1 swallow doesn't make a summer. You know, and Man United, for me, we're going to qualify for the Champions League under Ruben Amorim anyway. I felt that. I believed in it. Yesterday was a good performance, a fantastic performance. I would say that one of our best in the last few years, not the best in 15 years, like all the people overreacting and stuff like that. You know, very, very. You know, people think people are stupid. They're doing that. They're saying those things because they wanted Ruben Amorim out. So they're trying to justify doubly why he should be sacked. And people don't understand. There's some people smart in this world. They know what they're all about. You know what I mean? Just because you got a big platform and took advantage of a space in the industry doesn't mean you got intelligence. Do you know what I mean? At the end of the day. And this is what I'm talking about, guys. You know, you've got to be smart. The only thing we can do is back Carrick and not get carried away. Exactly. DJ Darker, spot my guy. Look, you know, at the end of the day, I'm tired. So I just want this to work. You know, I am not a negative guy. I'm one of those guys, glass half full all the time. People know me on the stream. I'm always backing Man United. I back Erik ten Hag. I back Ruben Amorim because I believe that the problem is not the manager. And we're going to see what's going to happen this next few weeks. And I really, really hope Michael Carrick can do something, you know what I mean, that makes us happy. Because that's what it's all about at the end of the day. I'm tired. You think I want to go on any other channel and Man United are not even in the conversation? Man United are irrelevant. We're not even in the conversation in regards to leagues, in regards to Champions League. It's embarrassing that we can't sit here this week and watch Man United in the Champions League, even though we deserve to be there, you know, with our name, but we're not good enough. It's embarrassing. Chaninga, how you doing, my friend? Hope you're doing well. I'm back from internet shutdown. And big up to the president of the Republic of Uganda for retaining this position. Big up my Uganda family. Big up Uganda. Big up Africa. Big up all you great people. I hope you're doing well. And love and peace and blessings to you guys. And wish you nothing but love and prosperity, my friends. Come on, keep the strength and keep the peace, man. Absolutely. I hope you're doing well. Very, very good to see you back, Chaninga. Hope everything is blessed with you. Good to see you. Yeah. So at the end of the day, look, you know, what I would say is that nobody is the oracle of football, right? People are acting on Twitter like they're the oracle of football and they know everything, you know? And it is an overreaction that I'm seeing. And this is something where you could be happy, you could celebrate. But you know what winners do? Good, nice. Next to the next one. Next one. Not, oh my goodness me, we're going to make a bloody DVD or what? You know, are we going to make a Netflix series about beating Man City? We need to move on to the next. That's how Man United used to do. All right, we won that game. Great performance. Da-da-da-da-da. On to the next. That's what we do. On to the next. Do you know what I mean? At the end of the day. And that's what we do. That's how every Manchester United fan should be. You know, and I'm not saying don't enjoy it, but you know what? It's 24 hours now. We move on. We've got the Arsenal game coming up. And look, I don't want to be humbled against Arsenal. I don't like Arsenal. I want Man United to beat Arsenal, guys, so much. You know what I mean? I want us to beat Arsenal so much. Please let us beat Arsenal. Please. That would be amazing if we can manage to do that. However, you know, it's going to be a tough game. We know it's going to be a tough game. So we need to focus on that game now. I'm focused on that game. Delighted for yesterday's game. Said we're going to win that game. I think many of us thought we were going to win that game. I knew we were going to win that game. Looking at Man City, looking at the performances, looking at defense, I said 3-1. It was 2-0. Should have been 6-0, but we won by 2 goals like I predicted. Of course, guys. Those who know, of course, guys. Absolutely. Guys, don't forget I'm on the AFCON later on. So I'm going to give you the redirect link for the AFCON goal, guys. The AFCON final. Don't forget to join me for that, guys, as well, guys. I'd be very, very grateful if you guys can do that for me as well. Low bloody DVD. Low, pick up, my friend. Big up, my Duve there. Sal, people have started talking Carrick should take the job permanently, but my question is, will he handle the pressure from outside the pitch? We can't guess now. Chandinga, it's like it's insanity and immaturity to be calling for Carrick to have the job now. You know, we've been down this road before. It's like people don't remember. It's like they weren't born. You know, what happened to Ole Gunnar Solskjaer? Ole Gunnar Solskjaer was breaking records. You know what I mean? And then we gave him the contract and then smacked up against Everton. And we all know how the story ended, don't we? You know? Marcus, sounds crazy. I would prefer to beat Arsenal than Man City because we beat Man City on a regular before. I don't like Arsenal, Marcus. I like us beating both of them. I would like us to beat Arsenal because Arsenal fans are getting too happy about Man United's win yesterday, like we did it for them. We didn't do it for you, Arsenal. We did it for Manchester United and the Man United fans, of course. So I would like Man United to defeat Arsenal as well, and that would be fantastic. I hate being in this position. I really do. I'm fed up with being in this position. I'm fed up with having to choose between Arsenal and Man City and Liverpool and that. It's about time Man United did something. It's about time these players showed up. It's about time they did something, you know what I mean? And to make us proud, to make us say, all right, we're in the title. It's about time they did that, you know what I mean? Rather than us hoping that, I hope Arsenal lose. I hope City lose. I hope Liverpool lose. I hope Chelsea lose. I just want Man United to win. And I want Man United to challenge. It's about time Man United challenged for titles. About time Man United, challenge for Champions League. It's about time we did that. And I really hope it will be that. If it was Michael Carrick, if it's Michael Carrick in the future, hopefully he smashes it. Hopefully he beat Arsenal next week. Fabulous. Do you know what I mean? At the end of the day, that would be brilliant. Of course. Big up, Dan. How you doing, my friend? Hope you're doing well, Sal. You're right. It's already all eyes on the Arsenal game. Let's keep the momentum going. That's what we do. We keep the momentum going and we don't get too excited and we don't get complacent because I tell you what, that will resonate and that will be infectious to the players right now. They will get infected by that, positivity, too much. They take it the wrong way. Vino, what's going on? I hope you're well. Now we need to see how Carrick do against the teams that give us the ball 70%, and it's clearly show. Intelligent comment, Vino. Absolutely. Man United's problem has never been Liverpool, Chelsea, Arsenal, even Manchester City. It's never been the problem. Man United generally do pretty well against those teams. All right, sometimes we lose, but you can in those games. But Man United generally do pretty well in those teams. It's the West Hams. It's the Wolves. It's the Fulhams. It's the Bournemouths. It's even the Newcastle ways, the Tottenhams who we can't beat. These teams, Everton's, these teams we need to put to the sword. We need to beat them. You know what I mean? And once we start winning consistently, then I would say, and against those teams, just not a lot about like guys, because I said it a few days ago. I said, don't be surprised if Man United beat Man City, beat Arsenal, and then go and lose to Fulham or draw against Fulham. And then all that momentum is gone and say, oh, well, you know what? It's same old. I said it earlier in the season, guys, when we beat Liverpool. I said it early in the season. I said, there's no point beating Liverpool if we're going to go against blah, blah, blah and not win the game. And lo and behold, here we are. And every single week, we're playing Bournemouth, we're playing West Ham, we're playing Everton, we're playing Wolves. And I was like, must win. We've got to win this one. Must win. We've got to win this one. And we didn't win them. And you know what? That is the problem at Man United. And that is a cultural problem. That's a mentality problem. That doesn't go away straight away. This is the thing. Carrick has only been there a few days. You think that Carrick, just being there a few days, miraculously has changed everything? It'd be an idiot to think that way. Absolutely. So what we need to do, we need to take it game by game. Every single one of these games is a final, in my opinion. Every game that's coming up now is going to be a final. We have to qualify for that Champions League. We've been out of the Champions League too long, guys. We need to qualify for it. Marcus, I prefer beating City because it gives up a lot of my work colleagues. Yeah, there you go. Depends where you live as well. I'm happy with the win, but the fans forget to ignore that one. No problem, my friend. No problem. Fans getting too ahead of themselves, thinking Carrick coached them into a week. It's what I'm talking about. And the problem is that these fans who are doing this, right, can't articulate an intelligent argument, so they use insults. Amarum sexuals is an insult, right? At the end of the day, we're grown adults. We support our football team. We support our manager, whether that be Eric Ten Hag, whether that be Ruben Amorim, whether that be Ralph Ragnick, whether that be Michael Carrick. We're always going to support the manager because we know the problems at the football club and we know that the issues, how deep-rooted these issues are at this football club. So at the end of the day, people need to use insults to put across their opinion, do not have the ability to articulate a compelling argument. That is exactly what it is. Right? And that is who they are. They're thick. It's simple as that. Thick as fuck. You know, Alex talks football, thick as fuck. All of them guys, thick as fuck. That's what they are. And I'm telling you right now, they come on it, they come on their chat, they go on their Twitter and that, and they're being outed, they're being called out, and they still speak the same nonsense, guys. Absolutely. All of them. I told you so, merchants, at the end of the day. So if we go and lose against Arsenal, right? God forbid, I'm going to go, I told you. Amram beat Arsenal. Am I going to do that? Of course I'm not going to do that because I'm intelligent at the end of the day. And I know this can go either way. We could we could lose to Arsenal. We beat Fulham. Hold that. My turn. Hold that. Your turn. Hold that. My turn. Hold that. Same thing over and over again. Rinse and repeat. Divide. That's what they're doing. They're not helping. You know, this is exactly what the ownership wants. Division. Arguing. You know, petty chest out, I'm right and you're wrong, and I'm right and you're wrong. You have to hold that now. What do you think of Michael Carrick? He's shown Amram, tactics, Useless people, honest to God. No problem, Nicky. Good luck with the keyboard, my guy. And Keyboard FC, big up. Big up, my friend. Big up, Avro, how you doing? We played really well yesterday. Like I said, always a United win, but we move on to Arsenal, won't get carried away. Avril, that's an intelligent comment. Exactly that. But what I don't like is the people who are online today, as we predicted, like goodness me, like it rains in Manchester. They come out, first thing, hold that. This is out to the Amram sexuals and ba. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, none of them will school me on football. Every single one of them content creators, right, can come on there and talk about Man United. I will school every single one of them. One-on-one. Let's bring it on. Absolutely. Garrett, what's going on, my friend? Good evening, Sal. Great win yesterday. I pray that those players show up the next week. Again, big up, Garrett. Big up yourself. Hope you're doing blessed on this Sunday, my friend. Big up yourself. I can remember we beat Arsenal 3-2 under Carrick interim. He retained that this week. We'll be happy. Yeah. At the end of the day, Man United have beaten Man City a lot of times, Chadinga. You know, Man United have beaten Man City under Jose Mourinho 3-2. Man United have beaten Man City 3-1 at Old Trafford under Ole Gunnar Solskjaer. Man United have beaten Man City in the FA Cup final under Erik ten Hag. You know, in the FA Cup final against a very good Man City team. So I don't get carried away. It's a Manchester derby. Like I said, these derbies are the great equalizer. They're like the great equalizer. Do you know what I mean? Garrett, what do you mean? What's a good time for you to go live, Garrett? What's a good time for you to go live? Let me know. Yeah, I got the morning show, I got the afternoon show sometimes. But guys, I am doing the AFCON later. So please join me for that. It'd be great to get you there. It's the AFCON final. Should be a big game. You know what's pressure, guys? The AFCON referee. The referee for the Morocco against Senegal game is under enormous pressure at the moment. You know what I mean? Don't be surprised if there's going to be a controversial penalty to Senegal or something, because you know what? They're going to have to try and justify the decisions. Morocco against Nigeria. The Nigerians were going absolutely mad about that game. I don't know what they're on about. I didn't see anything. As a neutral, I felt Morocco were the better team. And I felt that Nigeria were crap on the day. And listen, guys, I looked at Nigeria's game against Algeria, and I thought Nigeria, and people saw me on here, were absolutely phenomenal. Some of the best football I've seen in the tournament. But against Morocco, they were shit. And we have to say that, guys, at the end of the day, you know? Sal, we are going to get any players in this window. Garrett, I wouldn't put my mortgage on it at the end of the day. We're going to be linked to a lot of players, but I'm guessing that a lot of these players will be in the summer. It's disgraceful. Of course it is if we don't get anyone in there. Now, apparently, this mystery signing, Ruben Loftus-Cheek, is not going to happen now. You know what I mean? This is what we're talking about. You know why? You know why they've taken that away? Because we beat Man City. And you know why they're taking it away? Because all those little minions out there have gone and started being overly zealous, overly giddy, overly happy. You see? You see what happens? You get overly excited. The Glazers and Ineos will take it. They giveth, but taketh. They giveth, but taketh. That's what they do. Got to be smart. Got to always hold standards and got to always say, listen, I don't care. That's a good result. Fantastic. Celebrated on the day. But now we move on to Arsenal. What about transfers? You know, and that's what you need to do. What about transfers? You need to be in their face non-stop. You know, we've got the protest on the 1st of February. Let's hope that that isn't cancelled. Let's just hope that isn't cancelled. And let's hope we can get a good protest going and we can make an impact. You know what I mean? At the end of the day. That's what I hope. Sal, some of our players like counter-attacking football that suit them exactly. Carrick cannot change anything without spending on players. Look, at the end of the day, Chainlingo, what's going to be the vibe if we lose to Arsenal next week? You know, we're not going to be happy, are we? You know, it's just going to be back to square one, isn't it? And then everyone's going to be saying, well, Ruben Amorim won that game with 10 men last season in the FA Cup. But where do we go with that? Where do we win with that as a collective, as a fan base? Where do we win with that? You see, look, I'm not going to be that guy. And I refuse to be that guy who every single time, you know, we get a result, I'm gonna go back to History Channel and start thinking about what Ruben Amorim did, or I'm gonna be comparing Michael Carrick to Ruben Amorim and Amorim to Michael Carrick, and it's repetitive torture, guys. Because at the end of the day, we're not going to win. None of us. Who wins? Glazers win. Ineos win. That's who wins, not us. They win. When we keep fighting and bickering with each other, you know, honest to God, you know, and insulting each other as well. I mean, at the end of the day, and that is exactly what's going on. And it's getting ridiculous, guys. It's getting tiring, you know, at the end of the day. And I'm tired of it. And people need to wake up. We need a conductor like Cruz if we need to control the ball and counter-attack like classic Mourinho around Madrid. There's one guy who can do that. Vino, you know who that guy is? Angelo Stiller. He's the guy, guys. He's the guy who can do it. He's the one, guys. I'm telling you right now about Angelo Stiller. That guy is an absolute beast. Angelo Stiller can pass between the lines. He can attack. He can defend. He can score. That guy is a fabulous player. If Man United are serious, they're going to get Angelo Stiller. But there's loads of players out there. There's the Lamine Kamara's out there. There's the Agume's out there. There's the Javi Guerra's out there. There's the Yoragizas out there of Atletico Bilbao. There's those type of players as well. There's loads of good midfielders out there. It's about time Man United got a step on. Keith Schmidt is another one. Man United got a step on and started to get these players through the door. So I'll be there for the AFCON final. Thank you so much, FM. You're a legend. Thank you every day for your support. I really appreciate you, my friend. Really appreciate you. Absolutely. I'm there for the AFCON tonight. Come on, whoever wants to win. No, I ain't got a preference, guys. Absolutely. But, it's a big but. I want Mazraoui to win the AFCON. There you go. There's a clue. I want Mazraoui to win the AFCON. Come on, Mazza. Go for it. Get that winning mentality. Come back to Old Trafford as a AFCON winner. Come out with a trophy, mate. That's what we want. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, that would be brilliant if Man United can manage to do that. Absolutely. But a very good scouting watch today. Lamine Kamara and all that, guys. You know, it's going to be a good scouting watch. I'm looking forward to it. I really am. Absolutely, indeed. Of course. But, guys, look, you know what? It was a positive day yesterday. It felt good. And, you know, it felt good with the fan base. The fans felt good. You know, unfortunately, people like to ruin it. And they like to go over the top. And they like to, you know, act like it's an egotistical, narcissistic behavior that in this fan base that, you know, needs to be eradicated just like the Glazers. You know, this I told you so business, this hold that business, you know, hold that this week, hold that the other week. I'm right, you're wrong. I'm right, you're wrong. Round and round and round we go. Absolute pathetic imbeciles. Absolute idiots. At the end of the day, who wins? The Glazers win. That's who wins. We've got to try and unite for a common cause, which is getting the Glazers out, getting Ineos out, and trying to support Man United in becoming a successful football team again. Now, we've already moved on to Michael Carrick. We're supporting Michael Carrick, and we hope Michael Carrick becomes a legend at Man United. We hope he gets us into the Champions League. Be awesome if we manage to do that. Now, why don't we just focus on that rather than arguing amongst each other and trying to say who's right and who's wrong and stuff like that? Do you know what I mean? At the end of the day. And that's what I would say about that. It's idiotic and foolish, guys, in my opinion, what these people are doing. Who do you want to win? I think I want Morocco to win, Ephraim. Don't tell anyone, but I probably just told 45 people just now. But yeah, I think I want Morocco to win because of Mazraoui. The one who has the most Man United players, Morocco. So Morocco, I want to win. Of course I do. You want Sadio Mane, a Scouser, to win it. I mean, I don't. I want Mazza to win it. I want Morocco to win it. Of course I do. You know what I mean? At the end of it, I don't care about all this corruption nonsense. This smoke screen for poor performances and stuff like that is not for me. It absolutely isn't for me. You know, just hold the defeat and move on. You know what I mean? People moaning and crying about it. I didn't see anything at the game. I watched that game as a neutral, and I didn't see anything that the referee did wrong. I was actually praising the referee in the game. I thought the referee did very well. I did, you know, and I didn't think he did anything too untoward. There was no real penalty shouts and stuff. Yeah, Morocco all the way, Bobby. Absolutely. Mazza all the way, mate. Mazza all the way. Morocco impressed me tactically. They went for the game against Nigeria, and they looked like the more likely team to score. Listen, the game went to 120 minutes, right? The referee didn't tell the Nigerian players to hit rubbish penalties, did he? You know, at the end of the day, and that's what I would say about it. Chadinga. No player is bigger than the club. Underperforming players should be benched to create space for hungry players. I agree, Chadinga. Absolutely spot on. Absolutely spot on. I agree with that one wholeheartedly, my friend. Absolutely. But guys, you know what? I urge you guys to go to the AFCON final later on tonight. I will be there. It will be fun. Guys, should be a good game. A lot of competitiveness. There's already a little bit of spice in it. Half of Africa wants Morocco to lose, as we know. Guys, absolutely. I don't know about you about this. I'm seeing a lot of people supporting Senegal today. You know what I mean? Do you think Xerxes will be moved on in January? Well, he's got another 2 weeks off. He's not well yet. I don't think so, no. Vino, I don't think so. Roma have signed a player. I've forgotten who they signed, but they've signed a player already in Xerxes' position, so I don't think they're going to be signing anyone. So that means that it's very unlikely that Xerxes leaves the football club. He's injured for another 2 weeks, and we have to wait and see what happens after that. But the window's almost closed, so I don't think so. No, I think it's over. I think we'll have to revisit that whole scenario in the summer in regards to Xerxes. I think he's going to stay at Man United. And I think we need him, to be honest with you. I don't think we should be getting rid of anyone at the moment. I don't think we should be selling anyone at the moment, considering we're not going to bring anyone in. Likelihood, of course, in this January window, I think everything's going to be done in the summer. And the only thing that I can envision that's going to happen is Man United get agreements for players for the summer, if you know what I mean, so they can get the groundwork done and have agreements. I know that we got some sort of verbal agreement with Baleba. I know that. That's an absolute given. That's certainty. I know that for a fact. Whether we sign him, whether we agree a fee with Brighton, that is another story. But we're going to come to that very, very soon, guys. I'm sure we're going to revisit the Baleba story very, very soon, guys. Of course we are. But guys, look, you know what? We have to promote unity within the fan base, because at the end of the day, when you promote division, it's just going to be a domino effect of division. You know, there's going to be cults. There's going to be in, out. You are this, you are that. Hold that this, hold that that. There's going to be no unity within the fan base. And this is what I'm talking about, divide and conquer. I've been banging on about this for a long time. We're at the Glazers and Ineos. Divide and conquer. They love that, because at the end of the day, whilst we're fighting each other, they're winning, because they can just sit back with their popcorn and eat that. You know what I mean? At the end of the day, and just look at us and think, look at those idiots. You know what I'm saying? This is what they're going to do. You know, so we need to make sure that we need to stop these people with big platforms talking with little IQs, big platforms, little IQs. And that's what I say about it. You know, enjoy the win, and we look forward to the Arsenal game next week. Nothing is a given. We are not there yet. We are not back. We are not there yet. Stop the nonsense. We are not back. Let's see what happens against Arsenal. Let's support Carrick. Let's unite as a fan base, and let's go for one common goal, and let's try and win, and let's try and get in the Champions League, and let's stop this. You know what I mean? We have to stop this from the source, guys. That's what we have to do. And the big platforms who are promoting this nonsense, you know, need to be eradicated. They need to be deleted, because at the end of the day, we need to unite as a fan base, because united, we are more powerful. Trust me. Ephraim, Sal, do you think Bruno is a number 10 next season? I don't know what's going to happen with Bruno. It's very up in the air at the moment. Bruno obviously might want a new challenge, I'm hearing. Man United are looking at the likes of Kenan Yildiz, of course, to replace Bruno. I would like Bruno to stay right now. I don't want to think about the summer. But I would like him to stay if he could be a bit part player and come on as a bench. And that he's 31, 32. He's going to be next season, guys. So we need to think things realistically and stuff like that as well. But he's a very important player for Man United right now. And he's a world-class number 10. He's not a world-class number 8. And this is what we've been saying for ages. Put him in number 10. And I think that was one of Ruben Amorim's biggest stumble blocks in regards to the Bruno Fernandes situation, playing Bruno Fernandes as number 8 and not playing him as number 10. He's one of the best number 10s in the world. You know what I mean? At the end of the day. You know, guys. Vino, if Baleba and Anderson available for the same fee, who would you go for? Anderson all day long. More rounded player, generational. Man City are interested in Anderson. He's a better player than Baleba. However, I would say they're two different players. Baleba's more of a number 8 stroke number 6, but he's more of a number 8, can get forward and stuff and bring that ball forward a little bit like Mainu, to be honest. And Anderson's more of a number 6 and more of a breaker up of play and stuff like that, more of a Declan Rice sort of player. I would go after Anderson myself because I think Casemiro's finished. We can, if Mainu can buck up his ideas, if Mainu can fix himself up, if Mainu can commit his future to Man United, then we got Mainu anyway, and we have to support him, and we have to forget about the past. What's done is done, and we move on, and we support our football team at the end of the day. Ephraim, keep up the good work, sir. You're a legend. I'm lucky to find this channel. Thank you so much, Ephraim. You're a legend too. Thank you so much for supporting me every day, my friend. You're an absolute diamond. Thank you, mate. I appreciate you all, of course. Those are Ineos and Glazers should sod off, and Manchester United for £1 billion English pounds. Absolutely, man. They need to leave this football club. They need to leave now. The Glazers and Ineos need to leave. You saw the potential of Man United. The potential of Man United is so high without debt, at the end of the day. And they put Man United in debt. And I include Ineos and the Glazers. They have put Man United in debt because Ineos facilitated the Glazers. We could have had a full sale, of course. So at the end of the day, we have to keep the pressure on Ineos and we have to keep the pressure on the Glazers. That's the most important thing. We got to keep the pressure on at the end of the day. And because at the end of the day, if we get overly giddy, we get overly excited, we get overly happy, they're going to do what they did this last 24 hours, which is the secret signing is no longer a secret signing. They're happy. Keep them happy. And that's what they're going to do at the end of the day. And this is why we have to keep the energy. This is why we have to keep strong and have to keep the stance against the Glazers and against Ineos. Of course we do at the end of the day, because I believe there is a sleeping giant there, and that sleeping giant will awaken soon enough, guys. It will awaken, guys, absolutely. But we have to keep unity as well as a fan base, because whilst we're writing tweets on Twitter, indirect tweets and stuff like that, against the majority of the fan base, by the way, nothing is going to happen. We're just going to be round and round in circles, guys, in this never-ending toxic cycle. And that's what it is. The repetitive toxic cycle that keeps going round and round and round. You know what I mean? Samuel, Ineos and the Glazers are tight with money. Like Steve Parish, absolutely. Yeah. Simon Jordan as well. So I hope when they go into renew main new contract, it will be a huge amount. It will not be a huge amount. It's down to his brother, though, isn't it? He's got a lot of people around him. He needs to try and his sister, his brother, too much influence, too much voice, harming his reputation. Let's talk about Casemiro. People are saying he's old, he should leave, but Casemiro is very important in our midfield. I wouldn't mind keeping Casemiro. However, he's got 1 year left on his contract. If his contract expires, there is an option of 1 more year. I wouldn't mind Casemiro staying as long as it's like a rotational business. I think Man United do need to sign another number 6, Chaninga. They do, because we can't keep a player who can only play 55, 60 minutes. It's very important for the first 20 to 45 minutes, absolutely. But we can't keep players that only can play a certain amount of time. We need to have another player. He could be a bench option, bring on, play sometimes, League Cup, FA Cup, be very useful. We've had it before in regards to Alex Ferguson, stuff like that. We can keep him, but we need to sign an Anderson. We need to sign a Baleba. We need to sign a Lamine Kamara. We need to sign a Yavi Guerra, no Eurogiza. Someone of that ilk we need to sign, guys. Do you know what I mean? At the end of the day, guys, absolutely. I like us to go after Murillo or Forest. Great replacement for Maguire in the summer. Expensive, though, Vino. That's the problem. Expensive is going to be 60, 70 million, which Man United could put that money towards the midfield, which is the most important. Because when you look at it, we got De Ligt, we got Euro, we got Heaven, we got Licha. Guys, we've also got Kolungi, we've got Fredrickson in the background as well, doing very, very well. We've also got Thwaites. We got a lot of players there that can play that position. So at the moment, if we get the midfield sorted out, if we get the fullback sorted out, then I would say, yeah, that would be great. You know what I mean? And then we can look at the defense and look at replacing the defense. Can we get James Bale like that? No, not good enough, Jay, not good enough. At Real Madrid, Mainu's better than James Garner. What's the point? We just wasted money. At Real Madrid, Casemiro had Federico Valverde, Luka Modric, Toni Kroos. Exactly that. But look, I give credit to Casemiro. I really do. Give credit to him. I think he's been a great player for Man United. Not great, but a good player for Man United. A good signing. Guys, I want to thank everyone for joining me. Please, guys, I've obviously put the redirect in regards to the AFCON later on tonight, guys. Don't forget to join me for the African Nations, guys. I will be live at 8, 9, 10, 11. So I'll be live about 7:45 p.m. UK, guys. That's what time I'll be live, guys. Don't forget to join me for that. Should be a cracking game. And enjoy it. Enjoy this stream, guys. Thanks so much. Smash a like on the way out, guys. And we move on, guys. We move on, at the end of the day, and move on to the Arsenal game. That's what's most important, guys. It's all focused on Arsenal, right? That's what winners do. Dwell on the past. Next is Arsenal. That's what we do, guys. Have a great evening. I'm Sal Warner. I will see you later on for the AFCON final. Let's do this, guys. See you soon. Peace.